Welcome back to round two, ladies and gentlemen. And as you have seen in the chat, we do have Jiren, which is the set nine. Jiren, I think it is set nine. Yeah, the Unstoppable Force. What a name. Against King Piccolo coming up. The players are just setting up. We're hopefully going to stream over to you in a second. But this is going to be interesting. Now, two very aggressive decks. And Jiren has that outstanding ability that on its awakened side can take no damage by just taking one life to your hand. So potential really, really good there. Wouldn't you say, Melvin, for coming up against King Piccolo, which has taken the format by storm?
Yeah, this is a typical example of, again, aggression against a very controlled playstyle. So we have King Piccolo going up against Jiren. The whole idea for King Piccolo is to draw a lot of cards, keep his hand size up, and go for the aggressive option. Whereas when it comes to Jiren itself, the unstoppable force, it is to be defensive, set up the board, and then use successive mechanics. Hopefully, if that is the thing that this deck is going for, use successive mechanics to play the true unstoppable 9-drop Jiren just to go in for the game. So all end bosses when it comes to Jiren, it is quadruple strike. So there is no option for King Piccolo to take the life and things like that. So when it's down to 4, it is going to be danger zone for King Piccolo. But can Broly make him go down? Can Jiren make him go down to 4? That is the option over there. Can Broly survive the turn? And so we are going to be seeing quite an interesting matchup here. The clash of style, I would say.
Yeah, very, very true. Like, as I stated, obviously, King Piccolo's come in from set 12 and just taken the entire meta. Like, it's a very, very strong deck to be played as well. And I like the fact that it starts on 6 life. Like, it's I think it's the only leader at the moment that starts on 6 life, but when it awakens when you're at 2 or less, you can still add life from your deck to your hand from its effect as well, which is really, really interesting. So yeah, 2 very different play styles. Jiren obviously spams Universe 11s, goes up to the successor mechanics, and then if it plays the big boy Jiren, it can play the big boy Jiren out. So quite interesting. I think our players are going to be setting up soon, so we'll be transitioning very, very shortly. But what are you going to expect? Like, what are you looking to see from this, Melvin?
Jiren setting up the board. Easy. King Piccolo setting up his board also. But one of the ways to get around Jiren is that you cannot do damage to Jiren when he is awakened. That is true, but only if he doesn't have any Universe 11 battle card on the board. So if you are able to do a lot of board clear, which, to be honest, if you're playing red, there is a lot of options. There are a lot of options for you. So if Piccolo's player can actually come around doing that, then he is able to go and do that damage over there. So Jiren, try to set up the board, put Universe 11 over there, survive. When it comes to Piccolo, it is going to be attack, and try to get the damage in. So I believe the players are almost ready right now. So stay with us, and we're going to see you when the game starts.
And here we have both players set up now, getting ready to start the turn. We do see King Piccolo charging and passing, so very, very slow start. I'm not 100% familiar with the King Piccolo list, I have to say. Like I said, it's very new. It's all come in. Giant Force has made an impact on it as well, so it would be good to see. It would be good to see how it plays out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the Jiren player has gone for the swing. He has played his first energy, and because the energy it's in the active mode, that means the first energy it is a mono color card, I believe. So is this going to be a monocolor Jiren, or this is going to be just a variant build, or is he just not having a good hand to start with?
Well,
Oh
it's
yes,
yeah, starting off with that. Is that Slug? I can see.
yes. This is a
Slug, yeah.
3-cost slug that comes out in draft box, and when he plays that card, I believe that the player is unable to take cards from the deck without unless it is from the leader's ability. I believe that is the thing over there. Is he dropping it? Yes, he's dropping it. He's not playing it. I believe so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a activate main from hand, so quite
Okay.
interesting. But as I stated before, King Piccolo starts on 6 life. Again, the only leader in the entire game that does that. Now, how do you think that fares against Jiren, starting on 6 life?
I'm not too sure about that though, because in the early game itself, Jiren is not very aggressive.
Okay.
Jiren is
Interesting.
not a very aggressive deck in the early game because what Jiren wants to do is to set up his board. But if we take a look at what we are seeing right now, there is a 2-drop on the board itself. Is that played on the board? Because that is a Lord Slug, right?
I think that is a Lord Slug there, yeah. So we also have a judge in the I think they're just chatting and seeing what the issue is here. But yeah, seeing the Lord Slug, this is very different. This is not what I was expecting because obviously with Jiren playing Universe 11 cards, it's one of its effects is that it literally spams out Universe 11.
Correct.
So Lord Slug is a very, very different play. Like this is not what I was expecting at all.
And I do not understand why is he dropping a yellow Lord Slug over here. So I'm a little bit confused in the playstyle. However, we can see the other contrast here is that when it comes to King Piccolo, it is looking at what is on the board right now. It seems to be the proper King Piccolo build right to the theme. It is going to be aggro, 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 and rejuvenate, try to get the life back, and putting cards in the life, as you can see here, switching it up so that he can use it to combo at the end of turn, play that card, and kind of free play that card somehow.
True. So now King Piccolo is at 5 life here, and obviously that life that was just added from his hand to his life stays face up, so he constantly has that information on what is there. So very interesting. A lot of new cards here as well from Dropbox as well. This is what they're just going over. They're just explaining what the cards do. So I'm not going to deny I don't actually know what that card is. Like it's.
Oh, this is the attack of the Demon Clan. So this is activate battle. You get to place one of your Demon Clan card in your with energy 3 or less from your deck in your life face up. So you cannot switch it. For King Piccolo, you really want those cards in your life, the proper cards in your life, so that you can combo with them. And after you combo with them, you can play them. So this card makes sure that in your life, you have the cards that you want to combo with, because that's one of the lead ability for King Piccolo itself.
Interesting, very interesting. So with Jiren, obviously, like we said, we were expecting obviously Universe 11 and then the successor mechanics. Do you still think that Gianmarco here is playing the successor mechanics?
I believe so. The reason is, let's see what his second energy is. A telltale sign of the successor mechanics is that you kind of need multicolor cards. You kind of need cards in different colors. So that is the cause for most of the successor. You kind of need green, not just for the battle cards to be popped in order to play successor, but the energy to be tapped to play successor itself. So we can most probably see it from his energy. But battle card itself, we don't actually need Universe 11 to play successor. Any green, any yellow battle cards, we can do that. However, when it comes to Jiren, you do have a lot of disadvantage if you don't use the Universe card, because one of the power for Jiren is not to take any damage when there's a Universe 11 card on the board when he is awakened. So even if you have a yellow battle card and if you don't have Universe 11 cards on the board, you are going to take that damage. So first turn, maybe it might be a little bit of spice when it comes to the Jiren player, Gianmarco, but I believe moving forward, we should be able to see more Universe 11 card. Or maybe he just brought on some spice that would surprise us.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see. So I I'm not sure what to expect now because I'm not going to, like we said, like we were expecting something completely different with the Jiren. So this is going to be really interesting to see. It's not the first time where we've seen a leader played with a different deck. So this just could be another one of those options.
We can see that one of the ability has come in for the King Piccolo at the end of the battle. It is going to be Drum, Reign of Terror, a very, very frightening drum over here. So what does he do here? He has Barrier and Blocker at the end of the battle when this card is used from the combo from your life. So he actually puts it in his life, use it in a combo, and when you use it in a combo, you get to play this card. And when you play this card, choose up to one of your opponent's battle card, and you get the minus. So this is the board removal that we were mentioning about before in the pregame. And here we go, the 1-drop yellow slug. It's being put into the drop area right now. So removal while being defensive at the same time, while again being aggressive because of the combo from the life itself. So this is the power of King Piccolo, and we see that in effect. One drawback for King Piccolo is that you actually do have to set up your board and your unison card to get your card draw, though. So I believe that maybe on the King Piccolo player itself, Pedro, his hand size is not really good. Is that his hand size in the combo area?
I think that is, yeah. There should be about 5 or 6 cards, I would imagine, at the moment. So quite interesting because the chat says that 6 life doesn't mean anything. So it might not, but we'll wait and see how it goes because it is quite interesting. I just like to see that King Piccolo coming in with his minions, piano, tambourine, all of those are there. So this is just nice to see.
Okay, here we go. It is he is going to be playing the first universe. Is that the universe 11? Yes, this is the
Carsil.
just the squad. Yep.
Yeah, Carsil. Again, can't remember off the top of my head what it does, but he gets to play for free from the different leader effect. I'm pretty sure this one searches. I think this one searches.
Yes, this is the one interesting note that also by TCG he mentioned in the chat itself. It says that no piano hurts, so he is referring to King Piccolo and one of the card that's missing as to start the game with. But maybe a question to him himself is symbol more important or piano? It's more important there. In my opinion, I think symbol it's very important to keep the card draws up because it seems that the King Piccolo player himself does not have a lot of cards in his hands. But maybe he is just a better player over there. And that is why I'm here as a caster and all these players are over there playing the game. They're just better at doing what they're doing.
But like what between cymbal and piano and tambourine and all of them, like they all have their own individual effects, obviously. So what would you say would be better? Like what do you think? Like from their effects, what would you say is the better one to go for?
I really like Symbol. The reason is that it helps you to draw the card, because if you try to do this Rejuvenate, choose up to one of your Rejuvenate skills, and you place a Demon Clan from your drop area underneath it. Or maybe the reason why in this situation it is Piano is just much better, because the King Piccolo player does not actually have any Demon Clan card in his drop area. So there is no Unison, there is no cards in the drop area like Demon Clan, so you don't get to draw a card. Interestingly, now we see a 3-drop yellow Lord Slug coming out on the Jiren player's board.
Violent Rays as well has just been played there, so that's quite interesting to see. Such a powerful card, Violent Rays. Like it's I wouldn't say it's replaced Topo, but it's definitely added into the game.
It's very situational though, but that is also a very interesting mechanics when it comes to best of one, right? So you cannot say that, okay, I have Violent Ray and I put Topo in the sideboard. You kind of have to pick which is the better one. You have to make your chances. You have to do your calculation. What do you think you're going to face in the meta itself? Violent Ray is a very powerful negate. However, Topo is also a very, very powerful negate. The difference is one, it's 1 course, one is 2 course. A lot of them, but the option is not so straightforward, really. It really depends on what you're playing against.
Very true. And I'd just actually like to touch on what you said there, like being a best of one format. deck building is more important, would you not say? Because you don't have the access to the sideboard, so you have to play cards which probably you would play in your side deck, but you obviously have to play them in your main now, so you can try and work around certain strategies. So you want to try and build your deck so you have the most optimal matchups, which again, a sideboard would definitely help, but because it's a best of one, and I think that's really, really good in terms of all the players here showing their deck building skills. Like, who knows, we might see some cards that would be like, oh my god, I was not expecting to see this at all. So yeah, so really, really interesting to see, and hopefully it pays off for the players.
Yep. Deck building is very, very important here. You did bring out a very good point, but deck selection itself is also important in best
Very
of
true.
one
Very
because
true.
because it is best of one. If you're playing a very strange deck, a very corner deck, you might be able to catch your opponent off guard because in preparation wise, most players will prepare for the meta. And if you're playing something that is against the meta, you would be able to catch your opponent by surprise, which I think what is Sun Tzu says, that the art of war, it's the element of surprise. Help me out here. I forgot the what is that? What is that phrase over there that says that, the element of surprise?
Yeah, element of surprise is fine.
Yeah, it's very important. Okay, you can see what is very, very interesting here. Activate the leader's ability. Yes, he is going to be using I think, what is that card? Is it going to be trampoline? Yes, it is trampoline. So trampoline is he is going to activate the leader's ability, use that card to combo, and at the end of the turn, if you combo it from your life, you get to play with this card. And if you have 3 or more face-up cards in your life, or a red unit card in play underneath, with cards underneath it, when this card attacks, you get to switch it to active mode, and it gets 5k power.
Yeah, very, very powerful, I have to say. And this is one thing that I really like about the King Piccolo deck. Like, as you can see, he went from 4-5 life to having 2 cards face up. He now has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 life still, but he has 3 cards face up. And that's always common knowledge. So he can then obviously pick out which cards he wants to play from his life, instead of obviously just taking what a lot of people would do is take the bottom card. But having the cards face up, he can then pick out. So this is what I really like about set 12 with King Piccolo and Launch in particular. 2 very different leaders, different mechanics for awakening, different mechanics for manipulating life as well. So I have to say that, again, they both took the meta by storm. Both came in, both really, really asserted their dominance within the meta as well. And they are very powerful decks. So always seeing within your life and manipulating your life is a good thing, I have to say. It's a good thing for any deck to do.
Yep, and we do see the inclusion of Lord Slug Super Namekian himself. This card is so powerful. When this card is in rest mode, bond 2 with any card on the board, which Jiren, it's easy because Jiren spams out any card anyways. So this card is a 20k barrier when this card is in rest mode. Your opponent cannot add cards from their deck to their hands using a non-leader card skill. You know what? King Piccolo leader does not have the ability to draw cards. Piccolo actually depends on non-leader cards to draw cards. So this is a very, very troublesome card for our King Piccolo player, because he cannot use piano, he cannot use symbol to draw the cards when that Lord Slug is on the board.
Yeah, quite interesting. So really good play here by Gianmarco to obviously try and get that out. So obviously Pedro wants to try and out that Lord Slug. He wants to try and get rid of it. So what options does he have there, obviously, to get over? Because obviously the symbol, the tambourine and all that, they're all quite low in attack. So he has to obviously combo over it.
The leader could swing quite hard. Tambourine can swing at 20k, so which is the power of Lord Slug. However, the King Piccolo player does not have quite a lot of hand size, and if you take a look at the hand size of the Jiren player himself.
This card I really like. Sorry to cut you off there, but this card I really like, so I just want to touch on it quickly. Is Violent Rush Bojack, and I think this card, it was released in the anniversary box. I think it was the anniversary box.
Yes,
it's such a good card. So arrival for 1 blue, for 1 yellow. Sorry, and then it has Aegis as well. So you discard
Mhm.
a blue-yellow card, and then you get to untap 2 energy and then draw 1 when you activate Aegis. It also is a 20k barrier card as well. So that's constantly going to give Gianmarco defensive capability. So he's playing blue-yellow, as we see, where we would have thought he would play green-yellow successor. So this is
Oof.
very, very different, as I was stating before. So really, again, it just comes down to how someone builds the deck and
Mhm.
changing their strategies. And we also see Raiders Warcry as well. This is just getting better and better for me, in my opinion. I'm really liking this Jiren build.
Yep, I think like you said, I think we are starting to see how the Jiren player is building it. He is not doing the Universe 11 route. He is paying homage to. He's doing a little bit of sprinkle for Universe 11, just not to get the damage. However, the main engine himself, he's using the powerful yellow cards, and he's mixing it with a little bit of yellow. So it's a little bit reminiscent of the Mecha Frieza when you're playing Warcry Apes, and maybe we will be able to see Bergamo coming out also. So all this very, very powerful yellow card, playing the Bojack, Violent Rush Bojack to untap just to draw the card, get the energy untap, and then tapping 2 to play your Warcry Apes, tapping 1, or it's free play when it comes to both. Was it free play when it comes to the Bergamo, the 5-drop Bergamo, and then maybe we will see Putin also. So it's the very, very powerful yellow build, sprinkle with a little bit of blue just to get that energy untap, and using Jiren and Universe 11 to don't take the damage. Very, very interesting build over there. I agree with you, Azeem. This is going to be
Very
very,
true.
very interesting.
And again, like successor doesn't just need green and yellow cards; it just needs yellow and or green cards. So you can just
Mhm.
use mono yellow cards. So right now, um, Gianmarco can build up his board. So if he does have Celzino Unspeakable Abomination, that amazingly powerful SCR in his hand or in his deck, even, he can play it out. So it's going to be interesting. I'm not going to deny. Like you said, if playing homage to the Mecha Freezer, we do see a topper come down from Pedro, so that's
Oh
going to
no.
buy him some turn.
Okay, it's gonna be
A
cooler.
cooler.
Yeah, so
Wow.
Topo cooler, it's gonna counter. So that the worst part about this is that the Pedro, the King Piccolo player, has to drop a card because that is the cost of Topo itself.
Yeah.
However, the negate is not gonna be negated, and so nothing is gonna happen here. So
True.
do you know the ruling over here? Does the auto effect still plays? No, right? Because
No,
it's
it
been
doesn't,
counted.
because yeah, so the card doesn't, because Topo doesn't hit the board.
Hmm.
The auto never resolves. So that's a really nice play by Cooler as well. And I think Cooler, he draws one off Cooler. Does he draw the second card? I
I
can't
think he
remember. I
draws the
think it
second
is.
card because
He
there's six
does,
cards.
yeah,
It's
because there's six
Yep.
cards in rest. Yeah, so
Hmm.
very, that's a lot of cards that he's just drawn from that as well. And again,
Hmm.
even now, I'm pretty sure he's in Celzino range.
Oh, you're correct.
Minor raise, yeah. So
That is very, very correct.
So
Yep.
again, so he's got 4 from the Warcry, 1 from I think Castle's 2 actually. Sorry,
Hmm.
3 from the Cooler, so that's 9. He's got 3 from the Slug, so that's 11, and I think that Kenshi is 1, so I think he's got 12 on board
The
if I
magical
remember
number
correctly.
12.
Exactly there. But even though he has tapped out, he still has the Violent Rush here. Gianmarco still has Violent Rush. He also has the Jiren leader ability. So if Gianmarco does not have a blue yellow card in his hand, a multicolored blue yellow card for the Violent Rush, he can just take a life, meaning that he will not take any more damage for the rest of the turn because he has a Universe 11 on board. So Pedro
Hmm.
really needs to get rid of these Universe 11s in order
Yep.
to obviously negate that effect and to just go in and start attacking.
Yeah, but I believe that the Universe 11 has barrier right now because of the one drop
Yes,
mini
Kunchi.
card.
Yeah,
Yep.
Kunchi gives all cards barriers. So
Okay, it's
this
going to be
this is going to be
very
quite
difficult.
nice. Yeah,
Yep, it's going to be very difficult for Pedro, our King Piccolo player here, to end the game. Very, very interesting build when it comes to Gianmarco. Big shout out to him for bringing us such an interesting build here. Caught
yeah,
both of us off guard though. At the start, both of us was like, "What is this guy doing again?"
yeah. Very true, very true. Now, Pedro, obviously, we don't see a unison from Pedro, and obviously, the unison is I wouldn't say detrimental, but it just helps out his deck with Symbol and the rest of the minions as well. So would you expect to see a Unison next turn?
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to help Pedro too much if he's going to be playing the Unison. But I'll have to give a shout out to agree with Auto by TCG here though. If Piano is not coming out early in the game, it is going to be very, very difficult to continue. Especially right now, the biggest problem, it's actually not the Universe 11 on the board. The biggest problem for our Pedro player, our King Piccolo player, Pedro himself, is that 3-drop Lot Slug that just stops King Piccolo from drawing any cards. Yeah. So King Piccolo player right now is down to 3 lives, which is like what you mentioned, Azeem. It is Xeno Cell time.
It is in very, very Cell Xeno range at the moment. And I have to say, I think playing the Slug was just a good call by Gianmarco because, like I said, Launch and King Piccolo took the meta by storm. As soon as they were released, they literally just became the top meta decks at the moment and are very, very popular. So maybe this is just a really good meta call by Gianmarco. He thought about what decks are we going to play? Most probably will play Launch. Most probably will play King Piccolo. So maybe this is just because he has it there. So it will help him out in this matchup.
And a really good call because what we can see here, it is paying out. He is controlling the game right now and controlling King Piccolo's hand size, controlling King Piccolo's aggression. He doesn't really need to play Nimbus to control the aggression. All he has to do is just to take a life. And if the King Piccolo player does not have the ability to remove that 2 small, even though they are very, very small drops on the board, Universe 11 on the board, but they do have barrier. If Pedro, the King Piccolo player, does not have the ability to take them out, this game it's going to be drag on. The longer it drags on, the more horrible it is going to be for.
Yeah, we do see Pedro's now on 2 life, and obviously Gianmarco does have a double striker on board in the Warcry. So this attack, if there is no negate, this attack could smell game. However, Pedro does have a lot of cards in hand. He's just taken about 3 or 4 cards from his life to his hand, and he knows a couple of them anyway as well. So I think Gianmarco is just working out what he's going to do here, what his play is going to be.
Oh, he's going to end the turn.
Passed. Yeah, I think he's just passed there.
Interesting, because I believe the Warcry Ape himself does not have a blocker.
No, it does not.
Yeah, so why do we want to leave the Warcry Ape on active? Why not swing for it, give that little pressure, and make Pedro drops a little bit more card or remove a blocker on the board? Let's see.
Yeah, I think Gianmarco's he's sitting in a very good position here at the moment. So I think he's more on the fact that he doesn't want to push for game because he might not be 100% sure if he has it or not. Obviously, with what Pedro has in hand, we don't know. But I think he's going for next turn. He's got more attacks instead of just relying on that one double striker for the game. So maybe that's the option there. We do see Cease to Exist, which is the very, very nice card that comes in. Very nice indeed. So that's definitely going to help Pedro out.
Yeah, this is definitely the card that you want to play right now at this moment, because if your leader card is red, you choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle card, ignoring barrier, and they get minus 25. So guess what is he going to take away? So I believe that it is going to be that 2 universe option.
Yep. Is he going to go for the Universe 7? Oh no, he might be going for the Slug even.
Just to draw cards, yes, that is also a good option over there. So
I would say go for the Kunshi and the Lord Slug.
No,
he's opted to go for the double strike. Interesting.
Okay.
I would have said if you got rid of the Kunshi, that means Castle doesn't have barrier anymore. So then you can still get rid of it through your other means. So interesting that he chose the double striker there. But again, I understand why, because it just means that Gianmarco doesn't have a lethal attack next turn. So again, they're obviously both thinking their moves through. As we stated, this is a best of 1, so there is no siding, there is no game 2. The winner of this game goes straight to the next round. So this is good. I say straight to the next round. This isn't a knockout. They just take the win. Yeah, so
Yep.
they take the win. So they're really, really thinking their moves through here, which is a credit to both players. So I have to say, even though this is not what we expected to see, I'm really enjoying watching this game.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this game a lot because of the build that Jiren has, but we are forgetting something here. You can remove the battle card from Jiren's board. That is something that you can do. No one is going to argue against that. But knowing if this is the good yellow card variant, if we're gonna have a battle here, he's gonna drop one of this yellow and blue cards just to do edges, draws them one card, untap the 2 energy, and a lot of other things is gonna be flooding the board again. So symbol, it's gonna be comboed here from the live. And what are we gonna see here? This is gonna be a 20k swing, I believe.
Yeah, so this is going to be really interesting. And just like he said, it looks like he's activating it. Aegis here. He's dropping down a Kefla. I really like this inclusion of Kefla as well. I have to say, it's the one that when you combo with it, you get to rest a card on your opponent's side of the field during your opponent's turn. So I really like that inclusion, which is nice. So he does untap 2 cards. He draws one from the Aegis from the Bojack. Is he going for another Warcry? Do we see?
Okay, he's going to tap.
Yeah.
I really want to see Putin though, because Putin would be really nice, tapping a lot of this battle cards that is coming to play from combo.
True, but we could also see a Bergamo come down now as well. So this might just be the Mecha Freezer build he's tapping to. Is it going to be a Bergamo? It is a Bergamo.
Yes, it is going to be a Bergamo.
I do, yeah. So now, obviously, going through this deck, and if you've seen it, I do feel it is just basically the Mecha Freezer build, just with Jiren and Universe 11 instead of the Mecha Freezer and the extra cards, which is really nice to see. So just a different variant of the build.
A little bit more defensive, just play a little bit of this Universe 11 cards, and of course, because you are the Universe 11 player, you do, because you are the Universe 11 leader, you do have access to Successor, the big Universe 11 cards also, if you want to. So a pretty interesting build. I'm liking the build a lot.
That's very true indeed. So just looking at the chat, The Witcher, what card are you on about there? What card is it that you want to know? Let us know, and then we'll try and get you some more information on that. But this is interesting that the Bergamo has rested 2 of Pedro's cards, so that's 2 less attacks, which is has it stopped Pedro's turn? He's tapped out here as well.
Most probably. It's going to be a very difficult next turn for Pedro, though. 2 lives, and with all the energy tapped out, we know that he is not blue. So untapping energy, playing something without energy, it's not much of an option for red players.
True. So I do think Gianmarco here is taking a life, so he would be down to 2. So now there are 2 life apiece. But obviously, I think Gianmarco has taken the life for Jiren's effect, and it's just a pass turn there. So now this is a really, really big turn for Gianmarco. He can do a lot of damage in this one turn. He's not completely in Cell Xeno range anymore. He probably still could get it out if he gets to play some more cards.
7/5.
Yeah, but the Violent Rush is blue-yellow. Or
can he play?
Identity. No, so Successor's green or yellow. So obviously the Violent Rush is blue-yellow, so it wouldn't work. It wouldn't count towards it. But Secret Identity Marseille coming down is quite good as well. Gets to remove cards on Pedro's field equal or less to the number of 6, which is pretty much everything, I would say. Oh no, there's 2 3 costs.
They're all 3 costs.
Apart from the 1 inactive, which is a 1.
Yep. It depends what he wants to do now. If he wants to go for the game, take out the defensive option. But most of them are going to be good. Take out that, that 5k combo.
Exactly.
It's going to draw a card for him. Simbo, it's going to draw cards. But then when it comes to drum and trampoline, I'm having a blast saying those names though. if we're gonna he is gonna be taking out piano and trampoline.
Yeah. Tambourine.
Sorry. I have a trampoline right in front of me right now. Really, that kind of obscure
So
my
King
brain.
Piccolo's minions are all based after musical instruments. So we have
Mhm.
piano, cymbal, drum, and tambourine.
Just like the Saiyans, they are named after vegetables.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are. And Bulma's family is all after garments, so that's quite interesting.
Yeah, and the Freezer's family, it's all about refrigerator.
Yeah, yeah, which is quite cool. I'm not gonna lie, I do like that. But here we go.
Was that a pun?
I didn't even know. Oh my god! Oh my god! I am so bad. So no pun intended. I do apologize. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. I'm here all day. But anyway, back to the game instead of talking about.
Oh, okay. This is gonna be pretty powerful over here. It is gonna be Universe. Okay, this is definitely the Frieza build, ain't it?
Yep.
So he is gonna play Universe Knight as Zambo, which is a extra card just for 2 energy. If you tap it, you get to draw 2 cards, and if all your opponent's energy is in rest mode, which in this case it is, you get to choose up to Universe card from your deck with energy cost of 2 and play it. And what is it? It is gonna be the 1-drop Basil. Is it Basil?
That looks like Basil. I do think it is. I think it
Yes,
might
it is Basil.
of it, but yeah.
Yeah.
So again, Basil being really powerful, allowing him to draw a card when it's played, and then it has an active main that if your opponent has 5 or more cards in rest mode, it gains. I think it's 1500. So it goes to
1500. Yep.
Yeah, it goes to 1900 and gains dual attack, which is pretty nutty. A lot of my friends call it the Unison Killer because that is essentially what it is. But we do see. Is there a Champa coming down? Because there's a lot of combo here.
Ooh.
Is that there's another Basil in hand? Oh, he's going in. Do we see?
Yeah, he's gonna go in. I'm pretty sure it is gonna be Champa time. It's Champa time.
It's Champa time.
Wow. Okay, there's no chance. Here we go. Champa is out.
Earthring Destruction Champa, which gives any battle card or the attacking card double strike. So that's going to be a lot.
Yep, and it is a good option to do it on your leader because this is how the card game works. There are less defensive option against a leader attack than a battle card attack. You cannot pop a leader. You cannot remove a lot of skills when it comes to a leader. So you give that leader that double strike going for the game. This is Swing Infinity. I believe there is no numbers here that we can do that can do it justice. And were you keeping track of like how much combo is this?
I literally just counted, and I think that it's over 100. It's over 9,000. It's over 100. So it's over.
I believe this swing it's like 1 billion when it comes to double strike. What is this? Okay, this is a super combo. Draw 1. Okay, that's still pretty good.
Pedro doesn't have enough cards in hand to go all the way in. He does have super combos, but is it going to be enough?
Yeah, but there are 2. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be enough because when it comes, there are going to be 2 super combos and a lot of 10Ks in that.
Quick, play Ultimate Judgment Jarko.
No,
put the travel back to hand.
No, but the double strike still stays.
Yes, it does. It does indeed.
Yep.
Interesting. So I think he's taking the life. Yeah, he takes.
Now to use something to combo from the life. Why not the extra 5K?
Yeah, definitely. So he's still going through. Can he do it? How much is that? That's 20, 30, 45, 55, 60. I don't think so. 70. No, 65. Yeah, I think he's just calling it there.
It's game. Yep.
Yeah, he's given the handshake as well. So really unfortunate for Pedro. That is so good play by Gianmarco, I have to say. I really enjoyed that. Like I said, caught us all off guard. We thought it was just going to be Universe 11 successor lines, but it wasn't. It was basically the Mecha Freezer deck just played with Universe 11 and some other good stuff, like blue-yellow good stuff, I would say. But really well done to Gianmarco there. That was brilliant to watch. I really enjoyed it. What would you say?
I totally enjoyed the match itself because it took us some time for us to understand what he was trying to do. And
Yeah.
this deck itself does have a lot of counterplays for what the meta is going, with the Lord's Luck making sure that your opponent doesn't draw a lot of cards. 20k with Barrier, that is very difficult to deal with. And more than just that, with the Bergamo and everything that is what Mecha Frieza has, but Mecha Frieza does have a like a disadvantage, which is it's using his own life to make sure that he stays alive. But when it comes to Jiren itself, with Universe 11 cards on the board, Jiren has all this defensive option. What is interesting here is that maybe if I really want to take a look at his deck list now, whether did he include Universe 11 option when it comes to all this successor? So that would be very, very interesting. What do you think?
I have to say, like, I don't know. It's tough to see. Like, we didn't see any inclination that he was playing any successor line. I do think that, like we were saying, it's just probably a mirror of the Mecha Frieza deck, just with the Jiren Leader and Universe 11 cards instead. So maybe he might be playing the Cell Xeno as if anything, but I highly doubt. Like I said, there was no inclination of any other successor. But I do think that Violent Rush Bojack came in handy very, very much, being able to drop the cards. Like I said, the inclusion of Kefla as well. That is, I personally would not have thought to put Kefla in there. Now I see it makes sense, and I'm like, yeah, it works. So very, very interesting to see. So congratulations to Gianmarco there. Commiserations to Pedro. Gianmarco takes the win and progresses on. Yeah, just really, really interesting. So round 3 coming up, guys. To be sure to stay tuned. Let us know again. We'll hopefully try and get Cooler Mill on board, which seems to be quite popular. Maybe Pan even, if we can find out how they're doing. So do stay tuned. Round 3 is coming up very, very shortly.